There's something else that maybe we should know about. Do we have, Sarah, the audio from the $40,000 big guy payment? Let me explain this before we play this. Joe Biden received $40,000 from Chinese communists. Now, remember, he had nothing to do with his son's business. He never took a dime from his son's businesses. Well, here's your smoking gun, media. Let's see if any of them report on this. He got $40,000 from the Chinese communists. It was funneled through his son, his brother, their businesses, and this came yesterday from James Comer, the committee chairperson. Where's the money? Joe Biden has said. Listen to this from the press conference outlining exactly how Joe Biden got money from communist China in his bank account.
$40,000 in laundered China money landed in Joe Biden's bank account in the form of a personal check. And the Oversight Committee has it. Here's how that happened. First, Northern International Capital, a Chinese company associated with CEFC, wired $5 million to Hudson West 3, a joint venture established by Hunter Biden and a CEFC associate. Then Hudson West 3 sent $400,000 to an entity owned and controlled by Hunter Biden. Next, Hunter Biden wired $150,000 to Lion Hall Group, a company owned by James and Sara Biden. Sara Biden then withdrew $50,000 in cash from Lion Hall Group. Later the same day, she deposited it into her and James Biden's personal checking account. A few days later, Sara Biden cut a check to Joe Biden for $40,000. The memo line of the check said loan repayment.
So remember, they've been following all these offshore accounts. They have subpoenaed all of the financial records from the family. They have 80 yellow flags, which is what they're called, from the Treasury Department and from the banking community saying, this looks like money laundering. You should track this down. And so they are now. And there is a picture, Joseph R. Biden Jr., from Sara Biden for loan repayment, $40,000.
Sean Davis pointed this out, but the Bidens keep claiming that these are loan repayments. So where are the original loan payments from Joe Biden? And why were these loans never on his financial disclosure forms? You can't just do that. I mean, it might feel like you can do it. Oh, well, he's my brother. I can just loan him money whenever I want. Well, when you're in the positions that Joe Biden has been in, Vice President of the United States, these need to go on financial disclosure forms. And they should have been disclosed. They were not. Also, there are tax regulations about whether you need to charge interest for loans like this, which you do. You are required to.
It's not like, I don't know, it was my sister. She was in trouble. I loaned her money. This happens apparently all the time.
All the time, with no genesis of the loan.
Correct.
Right? There's no recorded, I gave the money to Jim Biden and he's giving it back to me.
Yeah.
There's only the he's giving it back to me part.
There's no check going one direction. There's only checks going back to Joe Biden. So where was it all in cash that he loaned? Was it like, oh, yeah, you know what? We were out to lunch and I realized he's paid for lunch, $40,000 over our lifetime, and I just needed to give that back to him. What?
Look, this happened. That's the thing I think people need to wait to get their arms around. All this stuff that happened, there's always political attacks. There's always suspicions. Many times those suspicions are wrong and they're overblown. Yeah. But this one actually happened. This money was going through Hunter Biden and was getting to Joe Biden. This was a real thing. This isn't a fever dream of the right who wants to take him out because he's president of the United States. They do want to, of course, remove him from the presidency, and that is probably their motivation for looking for this stuff. That being said, this stuff occurred. That's important. It's important. This actually really happened.
Why is that important? I don't understand.
I know, it's confusing.
So he took money from the Chinese Communist Party. So what?
I mean, when you look at it, and there's still so much to find out. We don't have the whole thing yet. You only have
one. We have one now.
We have enough to show that it occurred. But This obviously had happened many, many times. We have plenty of breadcrumbs to show that. But what it really looks like when you step back is that Joe Biden realized he was going to leave office. And he was probably not going to run for president. This is about the time that he was realizing, well, I'm not going to bother running for president. It was all the stuff going on with his other son, and he decided he wasn't going to run and realized this is my last chance to cash out. And all of these transactions happen right around that period. Now, he may have been doing it much, much longer than that, and it seems like he probably was. But he realized towards the end, and this might be why it's the easiest one to find, is he was sloppy. He was trying to cash out a bunch of money right near the end of his vice presidency so he could carry that into his private life.
How much is your integrity, your loyalty to your country, how much is that worth? What would you have to have the communist Chinese give you to sell out your own country?